Hi, my name is Rudy,
And my name is Maria.
and we're the Flores family. We've been coming to New Life about what 7 years now.
Yes,
7 years
7 years.
now. We've
Yeah.
been 2 years in, got baptized. We just love being here. It's been very helpful. It's been a blessing to be here to get to know um, the families, the brothers, the sisters in here. It's pretty awesome. It's really helped us out to build up relationships and to keep it going. Right?
Yeah. It's been such a blessing to be part of Fusion, um, which has been helping us so much in our marriage, and just I see the progression in our marriage and just growing closer to each other and to Christ.
How did you guys meet?
We met. She was my neighbor's cousin. So my neighbor at that time,
And
I,
you grew up where?
I grew up in Chicago. I was born and raised here in Chicago,
What neighborhood?
by Humboldt Park area.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead. Your neighbor's cousin.
Yeah, so she was my neighbor's cousin, and I remember when I first saw her, the next day I asked her cousin, like, hey, what's your cousin's name? And she would tell me, why, do you like her? I'm like, oh, no, just wanted to be curious. And funny thing is that she ended up becoming my sister's friend. So that's how I got to meet her. She actually came over to my mom's house, and I was in the living room watching TV, and she comes up the stairs with my sister.
And we're like about 8 years old, 9 years old around that
Oh,
time,
wow.
where we just had met each other, and it was like little, I guess like puppy love, like, you know. And I guess just over the years, my father and my mom were divorced, so we would visit my dad, and so that's where I would get to see him. And we lived in Michigan, and we just became teenagers, and I would just see him, and I think every summer that we would come, he would just be a little more like, what would you say, more,
A little interested, huh?
yes, more interested, with like very, you know,
Persistent.
very persistent, very direct.
Me?
And in Michigan,
No.
the boys were not like that.
Okay, so then when did you start dating? How old were you guys?
We started dating when I was 17, no, 16.
Yeah.
That was our official date when I went and asked her mother. I said, actually, the date is August 1st, 2003. That was our first date. And it was a scary moment because, of course, she's from Michigan and I'm from Chicago. Opposite, complete opposite. So, but it was an amazing day. It was an amazing moment. And that's it. I knew day one. That's it. This is wifey right now.
Did you feel that right away, Maria?
Yeah, I,
All right.
I actually did like him. I would pretend like I didn't, because I don't know, I just didn't want to, I guess, let him know that I liked him. But then when he came to ask me out, I think I kind of just gave it away that I also liked him. And well, yeah, we just started dating from there.
Wow, so you started young,
Yeah.
and then how did it go over the next few years? 17, 18, 19, 20. How was your relationship?
Oh man, I think shortly after we, teenage kids, and man, just living life fast. We shortly after we started dating, about 8 months into our dating, I became pregnant with our first son, Julian, and I was about 17 when I had him. And my mom actually moved from the north side of Chicago to the south side, and so we kind of knew we had to do something. We had to get married because
Oh,
it felt like my mom was trying to like kind of keep us away from each other. And
yeah, growing up, I grew up from a divorced family also, and my wife did also. So knowing that we were having a son, especially a son, I said no, we can't do this like this. We need to get married. So we ended up having a conversation with her mom, her father. I asked my father to come from Alabama to come and help me speak to her parents. And that was the time I decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna ask her to marry me right here. And so since then we got married, 2005, May 14, 2005.
2005.
Yeah.
All right. And then how many kids do you have now?
We have a total of 6 kids.
Wow.
We have 4 boys and 2 girls.
So it's been a really busy time. How were those first few years married? What were some good and bad in that time?
Oh wow! Those first years being married, we were in the world. We were drinking. I was smoking. I was still thinking about the neighborhood. I was still, very active with the friends I used to hang with. So it was not a good crowd. Not a good crowd whatsoever. And the first years of our marriage, we had a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of arguments, a lot of
A lot of finding out, because being so young, I didn't know who he really was. And so slowly, I started seeing things that I didn't even think, were a part of him. And I think that was where our, just a whole bunch of issues started happening in our marriage. Finding out, just different lies or yeah, mostly it was like finding out something hard, like lies, different lies.
Yeah. What were your spiritual backgrounds?
I guess you could say we were Catholic at the time, but more of let's see if we go, let's see if we don't go. It really wasn't instilled in us to seek God at that time. It wasn't shown to us. My family never went. They would go for Easter or Ash Wednesday, and that would be it. Nothing like we're doing now. So yeah.
For me, actually, the same. We didn't really go to like a church building. My mom talked to us about God, and wherever we moved as a child, she would like try to plug us into the church. So we went to like a Methodist church, but nothing solid,
And then what changed?
Actually, I always felt the Lord present even as a child, because my mom would talk to us about God, read to us Bible stories, and then so when I got pregnant, I didn't know how to tell my parents that I was pregnant, and one of my older cousins invited us to a retreat, and there I had an encounter with the Lord, and I think I was about 16, and at that retreat, I had never felt a pure love that way, and He just gave me the strength to like tell my parents that I was about to have a baby, and that they didn't know this side of me, because my parents thought I was, they would never even imagine that I was involved in anything like that with Rudy. And so from there I held on to that encounter that I had with the Lord, but not until I met my friend years later in beauty school. Yeah, I can't remember what was that.
Ava Johnson.
Yeah.
It was what about 7 years ago.
About 7
And
years ago.
she's the one that invited you to New Life, you
Yes,
said, right?
she invited us, to New Life, and she would hear Pastor Mark on the radio, and she had actually never been here. But yeah, so we came here, and she just challenged us. She's like, go ahead and talk to the pastor and just introduce yourselves. And I think the first time we were just a little shy, and we were like, no, we can't, But
Yeah.
then the second service we came to, we went up there and spoke to Pastor Mark, and he introduced us to Nick and the set, and they prayed for us, and the same vision that the Lord had given me at the Encounter Retreat, Nick Vestorella said the same thing that I had seen at this Encounter Retreat, which was a little girl being held by the Lord. And Nick said the same thing, that he had seen a little girl, and the Lord was holding on to her, and that we just knew we were at home.
Yeah, we just felt it as soon as we came in. Of course, it was a big changer from coming from a Catholic church to being here with Christian brothers and sisters, and seeing the music. We're like, no, wait, what's going on? It was way different.
Yeah.
Way different, So when her friend Ava Johnson mentioned it, I was fighting. I was fighting my wife. I was saying, no, that's your friend. I'm not gonna do what she does or whatever she tells you to do. But I guess my wife was praying for me with her friend, and one day I just said, you know what? Okay, let's hear what he has to say. Let's see what Pastor Mark has to say. And I love this message. And the following week I said, okay, we're going this Sunday. Coming in, hearing the music, hearing the message about forgiveness, and it was just so powerful, so powerful. We told her friend Ava Johnson. She said the same thing. She's like, okay, I challenge you, bro. I challenge you, bro. Like, go up to the pastor next service. I'm like, girl, you crazy? Like, I'm not gonna go up to the pastor and talk. Like, this is my second time coming in. But no, I actually did it. You know, I felt the message again. Man, I cried like a baby being in here, like a baby.
Yeah.
And when we went up to see Pastor Mark, he introduced us to Nick and Lisette. They all prayed for us. I cried again. I was like, okay. So on the drive home, I just said, we're home. This is our house.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful story. And so you both gave your lives to Christ around that time. I remember at your baptism meeting, your former classmate Ava Johnson, who invited you. What a great story. She did a great job and really was a huge factor in your life. So talk to us a little bit about marriage, some hard times you've had to overcome, but as Christians, how you've managed to get through all the stress.
Oh, the biggest thing is with the big family comes a lot of stress. It does come with being pulled, getting lost in the moments. She stays at home with the kids and I go to work. So me coming in from work and her dealing with the children and everything that needs to be moved around, it's really stressful. And it comes down to a moment of we are coming in with two different feelings and trying to speak to each other and kind of getting lost in those moments, kind of getting lost in the stress. And it's pretty crazy moments.
So definitely every day it's a battle, and one of the biggest things, the struggle is every day we are just learning to die to ourselves, to be selfless like Jesus. And you know, if I'm tired or whatever we might be battling with that day, it's like, just, man, give it our all to each other, to our children. Lean in on God, ask Him for that supernatural strength that we can only draw from Him. And so that's how we persevere in Christ.
Man, and like it says in James, you know, it says James 1 verse 2, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds. In our marriage, we went through so many ups and downs, so many arguments and bad moments, but knowing that, man, God is in the center of our marriage. It is through Him that we are able to, just give it all in and ask Him to help us. I can't change myself. I can't change her. She can't change me. It's just the Lord in our marriage that helps us build up to, giving us blessings. And it's very beautiful to see. Very beautiful to see.
Amen. Rudy and Maria, thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thank you.